Okay?
Yes, sir.
Please sit down. So, Meghna, I can see your PIQ form. You are from a beautiful place of Kerala.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Tell me why Kerala is called the land of gods.
So it was the Tourist Minister of Kerala gave that tagline to Kerala, like the God's own
Can you
country.
speak a little louder?
Okay, sir. So the Tourist Minister of Kerala once gave that tagline to the Kerala called as the God's own country due to its greenery and the it's like the heaven. It's due to the greenery and the art forms and all of that. So after that, it became a tagline, and that's why it's always called the God's own country.
Okay, Meghna. You know, there is a mythological story also about it. Why it is called God's own country? What is that mythological story?
The story of that, you mean the story of Parashuraman forming that?
Yeah.
So
It is because of that it is called. Am I right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, so the Parashuraman had, when the Parashuraman was in search of a land for the Brahmins, and he had thrown his axe towards the sea, and from that axe a land came up from the sea, and the other part was sea, and that was devoted to the Brahmins, and that's why it's called the God's own country.
Okay. If I ask you that which all historical or tourist places are there, which will you name the first four and why?
So the major tourist places in Kerala is like the Alappuzha, the houseboating. That is one of the famous tourist place. So that there are rare places where the houseboating is available these days, and it's one of the luxurious things and beautiful thing that one can enjoy. So where the 24 hours will be the houseboating, and you can enjoy the sightseeing and all that. So that is a major attraction for tourists in Kerala.
Okay, I told you to tell me four places minimum.
Okay, then the beaches in Kerala, and in Trivandrum there is the Shankumukam beach, and there are so many different temples. Like in Trivandrum there is the there is a famous temple, I don't remember its name, and Guruvayur is another temple, and then there is Adirapalli waterfalls in Kerala. Then there is in Calicut, there is the Calicut beach and the Mananchira, and all these are the famous
Okay,
places.
since you are studying in Calicut,
Yes,
there is another very famous place where the first man from the European country landed there. What is that place and why?
Kapad beach, sir.
Yeah,
Kapad beach, sir.
okay. Who was the person who came and when?
Vasco da Gama, sir, and he came in 1848 or something.
1848, there were
The
so many...
The second time he came was 1456. I don't remember the right.
Okay,
Yes.
you may like to check up because it's just in the neighboring place from your school. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Because you have written that you are studying in Calicut. Okay. Okay. And Kerala for the last about couple of years is flooded very frequently. Can you tell me three reasons why Kerala is getting flooded? It is a man-made or God-made?
I suggest that it is man-made, even if there is the rainfall is really high, but still the water transportation and the water conservation systems are not at all really developed. So the path route for the water for the path route of the water is not at all developed. It is congested, and the construction is like really high. The construction rate is really high, so that the movement of the water is not possible. And another major reason that happened in the flood is the landslides, and that the major reason for that was the deforestation, mainly in the rubber forest that is available in, especially in Malappuram in the Nelambur region. So they had cut the rubber trees, due to which when the water comes there was landslides, and these are the major reasons.
Okay. And Malappuram comes too much in the news. Tell me why.
So these days, due to the landslides, the Nelambur was really affected. That's one of the major reasons. And in the advantage part, the Malappuram is like the most literacy rate district in Kerala. So always in 10th, there is 100% pass from Malappuram. And then it is really a football fan center of Kerala. There are so many football coaching centers, and there are emerging players also. So in the football season, it is really in news. Then the other major things are, then in Malappuram, the father of the Malayalam literature is from Malappuram, and these are the major reasons for Malappuram.
Okay, Meghna, let's now go to your education and various other activities. I would like to know very briefly, how have you done academically? And also tell me about your extracurricular activities. Tell me, what has been your favorite subject, particularly in 12th class and upwards? And also tell me the subject which you did not like. Tell me, who was your favorite teacher and why? And also tell me the teacher whom you did not like. I would also like to know about your friend circle and who have been your close friends and what kind of friends you like and what kind of friends you do not like. Tell me about your role model, who should be outside your home, and why he is your role model. What is your future plan? What all examination you appeared after 12th class? And what are you doing at present?
So I did my 10th standard from Sri Valunad Vidya Bhavan in Malappuram. I had scored 10 CGPA in my 10th, and after that I did my 12th. It was an integrated batch with NEET coaching. So it was in Thrissur, Kailasnatha Vidyaniketan. So, and in 12th I scored 75% mark, and I had appeared for NEET, JEE, AIMS examinations. And then my friend circles, like I have few wonderful people around me as my friends. I have persons that have my friends from 13 years and even the persons that are from 2 years. So I am close to all of those. And I'm not a person who will be friend with everybody, but I have bunch of you with whom I always maintain the contact. And talking about the extracurricular activities, I like delivering speeches and extempors and debates, so I used to frequently participate in that. In 10th standard, I got state 3rd prize in extempore in Hindi and state district 2nd prize in English. Then in sports, I like racing, 100 meter and 200 meter races, and I even do swimming and badminton. That's just a pastime activity, not professionally. And then other hobbies that I have is like cooking. I really love that. And then talking about my ambition, I wanted to, I think that my strong point is on my words and my speech. So I wanted to take up a career where I can speak and I can bring out a change through my words. So I either want to go in an educational sector, like a lecturer or a speaker, something like that. And talking about my favorite subject, English is my favorite subject. I have taken up my career in English, and there was no subject like that. I didn't hate it in a subject, even if I scored a little mark in a subject, but then also I don't hate. But comparatively, I don't like Sanskrit. I had studied Sanskrit for 11 years, but the fact is that they're teaching it in a materialistic way. Like even after studying 11 years, none of us could write an essay or give a speech on Sanskrit. We are just by hearting the words, so I don't like that system. My favorite teacher is Riju sir. He taught me in my +1, +2 in the integrated batch NEET coaching. He was a chemistry teacher. He is an IIT graduate, and he is really optimistic and really enthusiastic towards his job. And he's a divine person. From my childhood onwards, I really give importance to my teacher. They play a major role. So he give really importance to his children. He give individual attentions to children, and he know the strength and weaknesses. So he call us individually and will try to solve our issues. So he's the greatest teacher that I have seen. And as I mentioned, from my childhood onwards, we are taught Guru Devo Bhava. So I don't hate any teacher, even if they have scolded me or something, it would be for my betterment. So I don't hate any teacher.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, I want to join, I want to take up a career that is in speaking section, and I am trying to clear my SSB